Well, hello good people of the interwebs. So you want to know how to make a really nice steak at home. And I'm here to show you how. Making a really juicy, delicious steak at home really is not that hard. Now, the problem is that there's like a million different ways of cooking a steak. If you just do a Google search, you'll find like 50,000 different techniques and recipes. So this is what I'm going to tell you. This is the most efficient A to B way to cook a steak properly. All right, so what do I mean by properly? So the steak has to be at the right temperature, it has to taste good, and it has to have the right texture. Okay, so we're gonna go for temperature, flavor, and texture. So the first thing we want to do is, obviously this has been in the fridge, so it's cold. Now, to cook a steak, you have to bring the steak up to room temperature. So you can simply just leave it on a plate like this for a couple of hours. Or if I'm in a real rush, what I'm gonna do is stick it in a ziplock bag and stick it in a bowl of hot water from the sink, and that'll bring it up to temperature really quickly. Now, seasoning. Since I'm pan-searing this steak, I want something that's gonna melt into the steak. I want spices that are not going to burn in the pan, so this is ideal because it's all powdered. Okay, so I put it on the steak, I rub it in, and because the salt is powdered, the salt's gonna seep into the meat, and when I pan-sear this, it's not gonna burn. Okay, so I'm gonna rub that in. Okay, now I'm gonna put my steak in a Ziploc bag. Okay, so here I have a bowl of hot water from the sink, and let's see where it's at. Okay, just out of curiosity. Okay, so it's 113 degrees. So we put our steak in here. Okay, and you can do this as well. You can open up a little hole in there, and if you push the bag into the water, it actually gets all the air out of it. Okay, so this is almost like vacuum sealing your steak. Okay, there you go. That way the steak won't float. It'll just be in the water. So the water is 113 degrees. The steak was probably like, I don't know, 30 something degrees. So I'm gonna leave it in there for maybe like 20 minutes, half an hour. That's gonna speed up the tempering of our steak. Now, the reason that I wanna bring the steak up to room temperature or even just a little bit warmer is so that it cooks evenly. Because when you wanna cook a steak, you want the inside to be at the temperature that you want it at. I like it medium rare, for example. And then you want the outside to be seared but not burnt. Okay, so if you have a steak that's too cold on the inside, then you run the risk of having to burn the outside of the steak before the inside gets to medium, for example. So having the steak at a higher temperature before you start cooking makes it cook properly. Okay, we're back. So it's been about 20 minutes. Now let's get this steak out of this nice bath and onto the plate. And right away I can feel it's nice and warm. Yeah, it's nice and warm. So just out of curiosity, let's throw the thermometer on it and we'll see what it says. Okay, so we're about 95. Perfect. So we're about 94 degrees, even better. Okay, so the steak is just nice and warm. Now, let's take this to a nice hot pan. Alright guys, so here's the game plan. I want to take the steak and I want to sear all sides of it, but especially all this fat over here on the sides. Even this bottom here, I'm going to sear all sides of the steak, and my goal is to get to about 130 degrees. Now I'm a poker. I like to poke my steak, and that's how I know where it is, but I know you guys need numbers, so we're going to go to about 130. Alright, so I got my pan medium high, and here we go. Turn on the exhaust fan because this is going to get really smoky. So I'm going to start by searing the fat. And you can see all this smoke coming off of it. If you have an outdoor kitchen, this is a perfect use for it. But if you're doing this inside your house and you have an exhaust fan, turn that all the way up because this is going to get real smoky. This is what you want. You want the fat to be nice and seared and crispy. And now I'm going to do the other side. nice sear marks. Now I'm gonna put it down on the first side here. And because we brought this steak up to 95 degrees in that water, it's not going to take that long for the inside of the steak to go up. Okay, so this is going to cook really nicely. Okay, look at those beautiful seared marks. Okay, now I'm going to turn it down just a little bit to about, my stove goes from 0 to 10, so I turn it down to 6.5. So that's just above medium. Okay, let's check it out. See where we're at. Alright, we're getting close. So, look how nice that is. I'm going to take this and we're going to put it on our plate. Alright, so I just pulled this guy off the frying pan. It was about 112 degrees or so. And it's very important to let your steak rest. So we're going to let this guy rest for about 3 minutes. And while that's happening, the temperature is actually going to come up about 5 degrees or so. And then it's going to level out. So, you know, if you're going for medium rare, medium, this is kind of what you want to do. And there's also a point about practice. The more you do this, the more you learn, you know, how long it's going to take. And when you poke it, you know, what does it feel like? Poking is not something you can really teach somebody. It just comes from experience. Eventually you cook enough steaks where if you poke it, you kind of know where it's at. And here we go, guys, the moment of truth. Let's cut into our juicy, delicious steak and see where we're at. Oh, look at that. Perfect medium, medium rare. And there you go, guys. This is how you make a perfect steak at home without even using the grill. And you don't have to go to the steakhouse anymore. You can do this for yourself. Thank you guys very much for watching this video. Please do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Your subscriptions help me spend more time making videos for you. And if you have any questions or any requests, please put them in the comments section. And I'll see you guys in the next video.